Arjun sat at the very back of the classroom, his desk pushed against the peeling paint. While the teacher scribbled equations, Arjun stared at his own hands, stained with ink. When the teacher pointed a ruler at him, Arjun opened his mouth, but words stuck. Before he could utter a sound, the teacher sighed and called on a student in the front. The class erupted in snickers. Arjun gripped his backpack straps until his knuckles turned white. The invisible weight of his classmates' judgment felt like a leaden shroud. Then, the classroom door creaked open. Miss Meera walked in, carrying notebooks. She stopped directly in front of Arjun's desk. She placed a hand on his wooden table. "Arjun, solve the third problem on the board," she said, her voice steady. Arjun walked to the board, picked up the chalk, and wrote a number clearly incorrect. A wave of laughter rippled through the room. Arjun dropped the chalk. "A wrong answer is a map," she said. "Try again." That evening, Arjun sat under the single bulb in his room, tracing letters. He grabbed a piece of paper and drew diagrams until the logic clicked. Weeks passed. The midterm results were posted on the bulletin board. A boy from the front row walked by and kicked Arjun's chair, whispering. Arjun felt the heat of shame, but he looked at the note Miss Meera tucked in. He sat back down and opened his math book. He began moving his desk forward, one row at a time, every week. By the final exams, Arjun was sitting in the third row. When the final paper was placed on his desk, he didn't look at the clock. He focused only on the ink on the page. He wrote until the final bell rang. On result day, the principal stood at the front of the room. "The highest score in the class," the principal announced, "is Arjun." The room fell into a silence so profound that the clock sounded like a drum. Arjun stood up. He walked past the front row, past the students who mocked him. He stood before Miss Meera. She handed him the certificate, her eyes bright. He looked at the paper, the ink confirming his journey. The principal shook his hand as the first few claps began to echo. He felt the weight of the certificate, a different kind of weight than before. Miss Meera whispered a final, "Well done," that only he could hear. He looked out at the sea of faces, no longer feeling like an outsider. Arjun realized that he had built his own bridge, stone by stone, day by day. Arjun looked at the empty back row. The distance was measured in the courage to try.